Alright you guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video I'm going to be doing a complete price breakdown on what it costs to cam my 5th gen Camaro. So if you don't know, if you haven't been following the channel, we've recently gone from a full bolt-on 5th gen Camaro to a full choppy boy 5th gen Camaro. So before we get into the price breakdown, I do want to say that in this breakdown, I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. At the time of recording, I probably only have 200 subs. So it's not like I'm on some sponsored stuff. It's not like people are sending stuff out to me, right? Everything that I got, I either got through finding a deal or I just went out and bought it myself. So in that regard, I know that this video isn't going to be super intense, you know, racing in Mexico and stuff like that. But what I can offer you guys is my honesty. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll tell you everything that I spent, every penny that I spent. That way, if you're on the fence about doing this yourself and you're worried about sort of the finance, you'll see exactly how much it costs to do something, a project this big, and then you'll be able to make a more educated decision. So I will offer my honesty to you guys, and with all that said, let's get into the price breakdown. All right, so I've got all the prices here on my phone. First things first, I do want to give a big shout out to SMG Speed. Especially Dalton Hill. So if you're on the Camaro 5th Gen page on Facebook, you know who Dalton Hill is, or if you're just a Chevy guy in general, you probably know who Dalton Hill is. So the guys over SMG Speed usually run pretty good deals in terms of assembling a cam package, and so that's who I got my stuff through, is the guys at SMG Speed, specifically Dalton Hill. Hit him up if you have anything. They're usually running some pretty good deals. Again, this isn't sponsored, it's just a good deal. So up first, through SMG Speed, I got basically the cam package, right? So that comes with the AFM and DOD delete, that comes with LS7 Lifters, that comes with the cam itself. I have a Texas Speed F-35 or their stage 4, and that also came with the stall, right? So I'm an auto, so I got the Circle D, the 3600 single disc. All of that was about $2,250, and that came with basically everything you need to do the installation. Next big purchasing that I did was through GPI. Again, if you're a Chevy guy, GPI, you know who those guys are, Guani Performance. So through them, I got two things. First was the Trunnion Kit, so upgrading the Trunnion. I have a video on that on the channel if you want to go and look at that. But the Trunnion Kit itself was about $400. And then I also had to buy the Valley cover for the LS3 style Valley cover, which I have a video on that as well. And little stuff in oil pan gasket, and so that was $100. Up next, the transcooler. So I assembled the transcooler, one through Amazon and another one through Jegs. So the transcooler itself I got off Amazon, and it was $75, and then everything, so the cooler, the lines, the fittings, all of that stuff through Jegs was about $115. Up next, the part that kills that a lot of people don't talk about is the fluids. So I put in an extra quart of transmission fluid, and that costs about $15. And then for the oil and oil filters, so I had to drain, or I drained the oil that was in before I started the cam install, and then I put new oil in, and then I was having oil pressure issues, which we'll talk about later in the video. I was having oil pressure issues, so I had to drain that oil out, fix the oil pressure issue, and then put new oil in. So I went through 2 oil changes. So for the oil and the filters, it was about $180 for both, and then spark plugs were $40 because I installed new spark plugs, which I think we did together. So I also have that up on the video or on the channel. Next up, tuning. So I got the tuning done here locally, and for a street tune it was $250. Another little thing, the oil cooler delete, the kit I got through Improved Racing, and that was $50. And then I have a special section here called break stuff, because if you do this yourself, you're probably going to break stuff. So what I broke first was the oil cooler. When I was putting the factory oil cooler in, I broke one of the bolts for the oil cooler. And then when I was trying to extract that bolt, I completely jacked up the oil pan. So finding an oil pan was a pain in the butt. It was like trying to find gold, but I found one. It was up in Houston. Guy had it up for $100. I talked him down to $60, so I was able to get a new oil pan for $60. And then the same thing happened on the valve cover, one of the bolts up there. I was tightening it down to torque spec, and well, it broke. So that bolt was only $5, but between breaking stuff was like $65. And that really is about it. I know that we went through that pretty fast, but let me just tally all of this stuff up and we'll talk more about it. So tallying this up, we've got $2,250 through SMG Speed, plus $400 through GPI would be $2,650, plus about another $200 through Amazon and Jegs would be $2,850, so we'll just round that up to $29. Another $200 at Advance, so that's $31. Basically $300 for tuning, that's $34. And then another, we'll call it $150 for the oil cooler delete and for me breaking stuff. So that's about $35.50, so we can round that up to $36. So all in all, I'm in $3,600 right now. Now mind you, I did everything myself. I had the tools available, I had the resources available, I had the time available to do everything myself. You might not be in that position to where you have to go and find somebody to install it for you, or maybe you just don't want to, right? So, you know, depending on your area, that can run another $1,500 to $2,500, right? So, but all in all, for just the parts and the oil and all the other stuff and me breaking stuff and all the other junk, I was in for about $3,600. Mind you, I did get an amazing deal through SMG Speed, and then everything else I pieced together and I was looking for deals. So that $3,600 that I got right now, and mind you, this was maybe a year ago when I started assembling all this stuff, the $3,600 that I spent back then could be $4,000 now, could be $4,200 now, right? So just know, I would say on the low end, you're looking at spending probably $4,000 just to assemble all this stuff. That's not even including the time that you're gonna spend, you know, doing the stuff, actually assembling the car, or whether you take it to somebody or what. If you do a dyno tune, that's more expensive, right? So the stuff can really add up. Okay, and really quick, just to finish this video up, I do want to say, so I am very specific about what I put onto my car, and I know a lot of us car guys are. So I'm not just gonna put some just whatever company on my car just because it looks cool. With that said, there are some big shout outs that I have to do again to end this video. First things first, Late Night Performance down here in Bronzeville. The tuner now isn't Late Night Performance anymore, it's Bellon's Custom Tuning, but shout out to them for the tuning, obviously. Next, GPI. Just their service is always quick. They're always, you know, you order something, it comes on time, the stuff like that. But also, if you have a question and you just ask them on Facebook, you get in contact with one of them through Messenger, they're quick to respond, man. They answer all your questions. So if you have any questions on the install, hit up the guys at GPI and they have the answer for you, man. They're specialists in this stuff, and they help me a lot through, you know, through the journey of me installing all the parts. Lastly, up top, the big SMG Speed banner. Again, big shout out to Dalton Hale over at SMG Speed. You get great deals through there. I highly suggest going through Dalton Hale and getting a cam kit through there. What I will say, I did want to go with a GPI SS4 cam. He didn't run the sale for that. He ran it for the Texas Speed cam. Now those two cams, the difference it's a minimal difference between those two cams. So it's not like I lost out on a whole bunch. That's the cam I wanted to go with. He didn't run the sale for that one, but that's okay, right? Other than that, though, hit him up if you want to buy anything at all, man. He's always on the page talking about he's running sales for all types of stuff. So if you have anything, what I'm going to say, what I did, I saved a whole bunch of money just going through SMG Speed. Hit those guys up, get yourself a deal, and get your car chopping. So with all that said, that's going to be it for today's video. I really didn't want to talk too much in this video just because these types of videos usually don't do too well on my channel, but this is the sort of information that needs to be out there. So if this video helps just one person, then, you know, it's worth it, right? Because this information wasn't really available when I looked for it online, especially for this platform. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them below. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below, or you can, you know, hit me up personally and I'll do my best to answer them for you. With all that said, thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the deal. And until the next video, I'm out here.